In this tutorial, using the Syntronik Minimoog as an example for comparison, I will explain fundamentals of FM synthesis using a 4-operator FM synth, FM4. Let's look at how you create a sound using subtractive or analog synthesizer using Syntronik Minimoog. Typically, you start with VCOs to select harmonic-rich waveforms, including sawtooth and square waves. Its main purpose is to generate a harmonic-rich tone. In this example, we have a sawtooth wave. Then, you set VCF or filter to cut down certain harmonics and set an envelope to control harmonic contents over time. At the end, you set VCA or amplitude envelope to control the overall volume of a sound. So, it's quite simple using VCO, VCF, and VCA. So, what's like to make a sound on an FM synthesizer? I will show you similarities and differences between 4-operator FM synthesis and subtractive synthesis from VCO, VCF, and VCA. Let's start with VCO. VCO generates harmonic-rich sounds, so you don't need to create harmonic-rich sounds from scratch. For FM synthesis, instead of VCOs, we have operators, which are different to VCOs. Key differences are they only generate either sine wave or harmonic poor waveforms. They have an individual envelope to control either volume, like VCA, or harmonic content, like VCF, depending on how they are used. They have an individual level control, so as to control either volume, like VCA, or harmonic content, like VCF, depending on how they are used. They have an individual velocity setting, so as to control either volume, like VCA, or harmonic content, like VCF, depending on how they are used. This is visualization of what operator is all about. You have a pitch control with an envelope, tracking, velocity, and level. On its own, it generates either sine wave or harmonic poor waveforms. Although FM4 or other FM synths such as TX81Z can have selectable sine wave derived harmonic poor waveforms, the DX7 only has a sine wave. So why do we only use a sine wave or less harmonic waveforms for FM synthesis? The answer is that FM synthesis is one of the most efficient synthesis methods to generate a wide range of harmonics and inharmonics simply from a sine wave. Let's look at an example of making the famous DX7 tube bells on FM4. If you haven't made the DX7 tube bells using FM4, you can do so by pausing this video and watch another FM4 sound design tutorial for tube bells, appearing at the top of the screen now. Using only operators 1 and 2, with a sine wave, you can generate the bell's main metallic harmonic tone. That means that if you start to use more harmonic-rich waveforms, you can end up with producing too much unwanted harmonics/inharmonics with FM synthesis. So, with FM synthesis, you create your own harmonic and inharmonic-rich tones without a sawtooth or square wave found in VCO. So for analog synth users, this is backwards thinking. This is so counterintuitive to analog synth users because harmonic-rich waveforms are already in VCO and you just select one. In FM synthesis, like additive synthesis, you need to create harmonic-rich tones from scratch. This is the first step to learn about FM synthesis. You need to create harmonic-rich waveforms. Let's try creating a sawtooth wave from scratch using FM4. Select any sounds, but change algorithm to 5. Turn only operators 3 and 4. We will set feedback to 10. The feedback loop on operator 4 puts its output signal back in itself, allowing to generate a harmonic-rich waveforms instead of a sine wave. We will change pitch for both operators 3 and 4 to 1.00 and select a sine wave. We will set operator 3 ADS envelope to a bit slow attack to 5.0, no decay, maximum sustain, and slow release to 5.0. We will set operator 4 ADSI envelope to a bit fast attack to 0.0. No decay, maximum sustain, and release. Set operator 4 level to around 6.4. Adjust level for operator 3 to maximum. Put other parameters like LFO and velocity to 0. And make sure to turn off unison or arpeggiator. Also, set model to 1 so you get minimum noise. Let's press a key. Now you hear sawtooth wave. What we've done is to using FM synthesis to generate a sawtooth wave from a sine wave. Note that we have operator 4 with a feedback loop. It allows to generate a sawtooth wave. Let's turn off feedback by setting it to 0. Now, we don't have sawtooth wave. You can also turn off track by setting it to 0. So, by now, you understand how FM synthesis using sine wave operators can be set up like VCO to generate a sawtooth wave. We can look at VCF. Let's look at subtractive synthesis. In this case, Minimoog Syntronik. Once you select a harmonic rich waveform, like a sawtooth wave, you can use VCF to control the harmonic content of a sound. VCF or filter allows you to cut down harmonics or enhance particular harmonics using resonance. It's quite easy to do this, as you only need to play around with a filter. Let's see how VCF is used for subtractive synthesis. Like Minimoog. As you can see, I'm reducing cutoff frequency by turning cutoff knob. I increase resonance and adjust cutoff again. Now, we have a mid-harmonic rich saw pad. I will change VCF envelope. Now, we have a shorter saw pad. But for FM synthesis, you have to control the harmonic contents of a sound without a filter. Let's look at the FM4 example with a sawtooth wave. You will notice that operator 4 with a feedback loop is connected to operator 3. This arrangement is called algorithm, and it determines how each operator interacts with each other. In this example, operator 4 is modulating operator 3 with frequency modulation, and it is called a modulator. This means that by controlling operator 4, you can control the harmonic content of a sound. So for FM synthesis, operator 4 is acting like VCF. By controlling its pitch to generate different harmonic contents, envelope to change harmonic contents over time, and the level to set the overall harmonic content, you have a VCF with a filter and an envelope. Let's try changing the sawtooth tone with filter cutoff using FM4. Let's adjust the level to 6.0. .5 5.0 4.0 3.0 and so on. What did it happen? Like moving the filter cutoff setting, the harmonic rich tone is getting softer and softer to become more like a sine wave with no overtone. So, level for operator 4 as a modulator determines the overall harmonic content. Now, put back level for operator 4 to 6.4. We will use operator 4 envelope. Let's put decay around 5.0 and sustain to 0. Now, the harmonic content of the sound is changing by its envelope, like a VCF envelope. So, we now have VCF equivalent in FM4 called a modulator. The modulator is an operator that sits on top of an operator that actually outputs the sound. We can look at each algorithm and how modulators are arranged in detail later. Let's look at the Syntronik Minimoog again. Once you selected the waveform and set VCF, you can control the overall volume using VCA or amplitude. It has an envelope and you can control the overall volume over time. So, is there a VCA equivalent in FM synthesis? Yes, there is. Now, we know how FM4, operator 3 and 4 are arranged. Operator 4 is a modulator acting like VCF to control the harmonic content of a sound. So, what does operator 3 do? It is called a carrier and it controls the volume of a sound over time, just like VCA in analog synths. Let's try using operator 3. Set operator 4 envelope back to maximum decay, maximum sustain. Now, we have a sustained sawtooth sound. We will use operator 3 envelope to control the overall volume of a sound over time. Set decay to about 5.0 and put sustain to 0. Press a key and we have a carrier envelope controlling the volume of the sawtooth wave over time, just like VCA. Now we've covered VCO, VCF and VCA and similarities and differences between subtractive and FM synthesis. Let's look at algorithm. I mentioned briefly that algorithms are the arrangements of FM operators so as to generate desired harmonics and inharmonics. Instead of 32 algorithms found in the DX7, 4-operator FM synths have only 8 algorithms. We can quickly go over one by one. Algorithm 1 has only one tower with all operators stacked on top of one another. It has only one carrier and the rest is modulators. That means that operator 1 can act like a VCA and the rest acts as a VCF, generating harmonic-rich tones. Algorithm 2 has only one carrier and 3 modulators. Operator 1 controls the overall volume and other operators act as VCF, controlling over harmonics. Algorithm 3 has one carrier as operator 1 acting like VCA. The rest is a modulator, controlling the overall harmonics like VCF. Algorithm 4 has only one carrier as operator 1 acting like VCA. The rest is modulator, controlling the overall harmonics like VCF. Algorithm 5 has 2 independent towers. Each tower acts as an independent VCO, VCF, and VCA. For tower 1, operator 1 is a carrier acting like VCA, and operator 2 is a modulator acting like VCF. For tower 2, operator 3 is a carrier acting like VCA, and operator 4 is a modulator acting like VCF. Algorithm 6 has 3 carriers, operators 1, 2, and 3 acting like 3 VCA, and it has one modulator, operator 4, acting like VCF. Algorithm 7 has 2 carrier-only operators, 1 and 2, and unlike VCA, they generate their own sine waves or other waveforms. They are used as additive synthesis. Their envelopes act like VCA envelopes, controlling the overall volume. There is also an independent tower with a carrier operator 3 acting like VCA and the modulator operator 4 acting like VCF. Algorithm 8 has only carrier operators 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is no modulator, so each operator generates sine wave or other waveforms independently. Each envelope acts as a VCA envelope, controlling the overall volume. Using only sine waves, you have additive synthesis. So, how do you know which algorithm you need to use to create a particular sound? You don't. Algorithm is provided for sound design possibilities and expandabilities. There is no rule to say this algorithm for this sound, etc. It's all up to your imagination. Let's revise what we've learned so far. With analog synths, you select harmonic-rich waveforms using VCO. VCF controls the harmonic contents of a sound. VCA controls the volume of a sound. For FM synthesis, you have an operator with a sine wave for less harmonic-rich waveforms, and you create a harmonic-rich waveform from scratch. For FM synthesis, a modulator controls the harmonic content of a sound. A carrier controls the volume of a sound. Now, you can save the patch you made so that we can use it in part 2 of this FM synthesis tutorial. There will be more FM synthesis tutorial for 4-operator FM synths. Part 2 will cover sound design of FM pads and advanced use of different waveforms.